Alright.
Oh! Hey, Jackson, good bait, good bait!
Hey, watch deep!
We have a, 2-hour break.
Hey, on her hip!
Staller!
Staller! Nice.
Sorry, guys, here we go!
You got time.
Set up, get up!
Hey, stay Z! End zone in one. End zone in one. Frisbee's here. Depends on where that one is.
End zone.
Shannon, go, Shannon!
Shannon! In one pass, they're going to do end zone, which is back.
Up!
It's gonna be
My name is Ethan Andrew Platt. I play Ultimate Frisbee here at Keene State.
Get the upline. Our team functions really well on upline.
This would be my 7th year playing, I believe.
My name is Samantha Dost. This is my 2nd year playing Ultimate Frisbee.
My favorite part about playing, it's probably the only sport that I've ever actually been somewhat decent at. So it's kind of fun to be good at it.
What that throw do on 3?
Yeah. Who? What that?
Does that sound mean?
I just want that.
No. We really.
They're very nice. What that throw do?
Yeah.
Ready? Throw or throw?
Throw.
Ooh! What that throw do?
My favorite thing about being on the team here is probably all the friends I've made.
I really like the team dynamic. Most of the time, obviously, like any group of people, you're gonna have your ups and downs, but I love when we can all come together.
No, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
They haven't scored yet.
Keep your back.
They're all pretty weird and interesting. They're not like the typical people that you would come across on other teams. I think we have a good mix. We have some nerds, some athletic people.
On the team, I started as a cutter, mostly playing wing. Especially more this year, more so than last year, I started handling.
I typically play the position of handler, which for people who don't know, it's similar to a quarterback, I guess. Only difference is usually there's a couple of these people on the field. We're typically the people who make the important throws and such. Basically, the way the game is supposed to be played is a 7v7. So each team's gonna have 7 people on the field at one time. You can kind of have different formations on offense and defense.
This is a horizontal stack. These 3 X's right here represent 3 handlers, so those are the people that are most familiar with the disc. These 2 middle people are called poppers. They cut in and out, call it kind of working like pistons, so they alternate cuts with each other. And then these 2 people on the sides are called wings. They're also cutters. They work up and down the sides of the field.
You maybe could have.
Because there was no forward momentum, he picked it up.
Whoa!
Probably my favorite way of playing, offensively at least, would be playing a hoe stack. I just think it works the best because it gives you a couple options in terms of throws that you can make. You could make a long throw, a short throw. And that's really great, especially since it's a sport that kind of depends on the weather. So if it's really windy that day, it's kind of hard to make the longer throws. So we like to use hoe stack a lot because we can kind of, on the fly, based on the wind, determine whether we want a close range pass or a long range pass.
This next setup is called a vertical stack. Again, you have your handlers here, but in vertical there's only 2. And then the rest of the people on the field are all cutters. This person in the back starts and makes a cut. If they get the disc, great, stack moves up, play keeps going. If not, they circle back, get back in line, and then the next person in the back cuts.
Now on defense, the different formations, it's a little bit more complicated because you can play a defense called a zone. Typically when we play zone, we play something called cup, and we kind of form a cup around whoever would have the disc on their team. And that kind of forces them to really only throw to one side of the field.
Most of the time for defense, we play man defense, which is just everyone has a single player and you just stay with that player throughout the point.
Yes, nice under, nice under.
I think at a competitive level, it's a really hard sport, but I would say at kind of the intro level, Frisbee is something that everyone kind of grows up having played at some point, so I think everyone can kind of get into it pretty easily. Someone who really loves the game would say the goal is to have fun, make sure everyone's having a good experience and a good time.
Good game, 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 good game. Stay.
I would say high tide is probably one of the best parts, if not the best part of playing Ultimate King State College.
Basically, High Tide is a tournament that's hosted in South Carolina. So we'll show up after driving about 16 hours in 2 vans.
We go every year, so I've gone 2 years. It's our spring break trip. It's a week-long Ultimate Frisbee beach vacation.
Depending on where our house is, we'll either be right on the beach, near the beach, but at least in a 5-minute walk of the beach. So basically the first day of official Frisbee being played would be the hat tournament. And basically how a hat tournament differs from the normal tournament is everyone who signs up is randomly placed on a team kind of based on their skill level. Basically, you just play all these teams made up of people who are from all these different schools. And kind of the premise around it is that you're going to meet all these people.
Then there's 3 days that you play with your team, like all day. It's a lot of Ultimate, but it's really good, and the weather's always super nice. Myrtle Beach, it's great.
I'm missing.
I caught my first Belden as
Dolphins were real.
Yeah,
you got
crazy.
Belden.
Pelicans aren't near the beach like where we live, right?
What is Curtis saying?
Because I don't think I've ever seen.
I think even as a freshman and our new players that go on the high tide trip, they, throughout that week, the 3 days playing, I think they develop so much as players, and you get super close with everyone on your team. We all live in a house. It's great. You play Ultimate during the day and get to hang out with your friends at night.
The point of Frisbee is not to be the best team. It's just to make sure everyone's cared for and we all are there to support each other.